Hello everyone, this is Kathryn at Wild Green Soul, also known as Kathryn the stylist at Salon Estilo in the Old Mill here in Bend, Oregon. So my tagline here is the green food, stay strong and sexy, save the world, holistic beauty place. But since the coronavirus started spreading around the world, and it is currently here in the United States, and most of us can't work, I wanted to make this video so that you can do your hair at home. So for years, I've known some of you for even 20 years. You've sat in my chair and we've chatted, and I've used a brush and a bowl like this and gotten rid of your gray and solved problems about what we were going to do for Thanksgiving, what we were going to cook, and things like that. But right now I'm going to show you how to do your own hair. And so I thought I would start out by, I don't know, lightening things up. It's a worrisome world. Some of us are older, some of us are maybe a little bit vulnerable. And if not that, we all know someone who is. And the leadership, we have a lot of things to worry about. And the reality is we can only, at least most of us, affect our part of the world. So my hope is, if I make you feel a little more well-groomed, maybe give you a few light tidbits to walk away with, that this thing might be a little bit easier. So this is Furry Logic, a guide to life's little challenges. So, this one. I love this one. You got to see this. I mean, is this guy amazing? This is Jan Seabrook, and she is an artist and a humorist. If at first you do succeed, try not to look too astonished. I don't know if any of you have ever done something really well and going, holy moly, I can't believe I just did that. That's usually me. And this is kind of the backup one. If at first you don't succeed, swallow all the evidence that you tried. Okay, there's that. So when you get your kit, it's going to have this full of color, and it's going to have this with developer in it. And it is also going to have a brush like this. So you're going to take that off the brush. And I'm actually going to do exactly what I do in the salon. And that is, I'm going to have a bowl and a scale. And I'm just going to turn this guy on. And I'm just going to put the color in. And the developer. And so what you will do is you will put just both of these things in the bowl. You'll mix it up really thoroughly. So I'm gonna actually use this brush. So what I do is I always start where the hair is the most gray. So I'll go like this, and I'll do this in front of the mirror. And typically, if I'm just doing it myself, I'll just do maybe this top area over the back and in the front. If you try to get too thorough, what'll often happen is you'll get color, all over the ends, which isn't a big deal if you get it, all over. But part of the reason your hair stays in good condition while either I do your hair or somebody like me does your hair is because not only do we have excellent products, I used Kevin Murphy Color Me, and for years I've used Wella. I'm moving into Kevin Murphy because there is no animal testing. The ingredients are chosen with a little bit more care, and the company uses ocean waste plastic, and it smells good. It just works. It's called hair skincare for your hair. So love Kevin Murphy. And I'm also going to put a link on my website. You'll actually be able to go to, I think it's called Salon Interactive. It's our distributor actually, and they give me a small commission for selling to you. So you can go there and get some of your products depending on how long this goes. So I typically start in the front, and I dip the brush in and just get the ends wet, and then just stroke it on, dip, maybe shake it off, you know, go in again. Of course, I wouldn't have my glasses on. I can see you better with them though. And I would just stroke in the color on both sides, and then use the end of the brush, make a very small, I would call it maybe a 1/4 inch parting, so that you can see when you part, when you take that section, this should actually be a little bit wet with color. And then stroke on this, make another tiny little section, come in, and then once you get to about here, make sure you get the sides, maybe come in a little bit more. And then back here, this is where I do this, and I come in and stroke it on, do the same thing. If it's not perfect, no, who cares? It's gonna be a whole bunch better. So let's just go with that. And then if you have somebody to help you, they can help you a little bit in the back. I often kind of part it off, go in the mirror, look in the mirror, kind of eye it in. When this is processed for whatever time you suggest, Kevin Murphy, if you're covering gray, is like 50-55 minutes. Wella is probably just a little bit less, at maybe 45. But what I do, if it starts to get dry, this is one thing that is kind of important, is I will dip in the color and at least get it around the hairline just a little bit more. And yeah, let it process, and then dip your fingers in some water and kind of start emulsifying it. Maybe use a wet towel that you don't care about, and you know, just very lightly. You don't want to, you know, upset the skin too much. But after you've kind of emulsified it and it looks like you've got shoe polish on your face all the way around your hairline, you're going to go ahead and wipe that off. And then I usually use my tub. The kitchen sink is a nicer height, and I have one of those nozzles that I use, but the tub just feels a little more bulletproof as far as not getting color on anything, because this will stain. I mean, you can scrub it off your grout, you know, I've gotten it on my grout before. And I also, you can see this is a metal table, so this is a really good table to do something like this on. By the way, behind me, this is a yoga swing. A friend of mine thought it was used for something else, but it's for exercise. And this is my sweetly artistic living room that is now arranged for us to do yoga. And so we're going to, emulsify it, rinse it off, shampoo it once, condition it, and then you're off to the races. Actually pretty simple. But I'm going to leave you with a little thing from I don't know if you know Don Miguel Ruiz. He looks like this. He wrote the Four Agreements, and very simple spiritual book, the Eagle Knight lineage. And this deck, some of you have probably looked at this. It looks like this. It's called the Mastery of Love, and there's a bunch of cards in here. It looks like this. And I've had a couple of you look through and put up ones that you thought were inspirational. But I was really attracted to this one. This one in particular seems really timely for what we're going through right now. It's a little bit disconcerting. A lot of people are getting sick, and people are getting sicker than they ever have, as far as something that's just an upper respiratory virus that's spread among the general public. But since we are at home, it could be a time that we just look inward and appreciate the quirkiness that each of us is. So this one says, surrender to the real you. So I'm going to read the back to you. Surrender all those ideas about being what you are not and become what you really are. When you surrender to your nature, to what you really are, you no longer suffer. When you surrender to the real you, you surrender to life, you surrender to the divine. He actually says God, but I don't know. The divine gives us a little more expansiveness around whatever is bigger than us might be for all of you. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that your hair turns out beautiful, and I hope that I get a chance to see you soon. Be well. This is Kathryn at Wild Green Soul and Solana Stilo and Bend.